Hey y'all, welcome to the Pungo Prairie. Tommy and Dean are having a party tomorrow, and my buddy David gave me this venison ham from a big old buck that he shot on the eastern shore. Now our venison roast has been in that smoker with them chickens for about 3 hours. Oh yeah, perfect. Just old deer meat from the Pungo Prairie. Now my best friend Willard took his 9-year-old princess Francesca out on Bat Bay yesterday for the youth waterfowl hunt. And she shot this big old Canada goose with a 410 shotgun. We got her goose all dressed. We're just gonna take him in the kitchen here, finish getting him gussied up for that Le Creuset goose pot. Now my buddy David had a great morning shooting wood ducks over his pond in Suffolk. And he brought me a couple of brace. And I'm gonna show y'all how to cook them up the Pungo Prairie way. This little duck I've left whole. I've stuffed him full of apples and onions and celery, fresh rosemary and some parsley. And we're gonna roast him up in this little tagine here and then finish him off in a honey butter Grand Marnier braise. Now taking this little wood duck, butterflied him and deboned him, and we're gonna braise him up in a brandied pear sauce. Flip it over, another shot of brandy. Remember this thing? We're just gonna finish our glaze off like a creme brulee. But another fish that swims in this river here is a rainbow trout. Now there's not much finer for bringing to a plate than these colorful, delicate, and delicious little cold water trout. Now that, my friends, is a plate of my world famous Pungo Prairie rainbow trout almondine. Now this calls for a big old pot of my world famous Dixon's tin can collard. Oh yeah, perfect. Now if you don't have a wood stove in your tent, just use one in your kitchen. Now I'm just going to put some salt and pepper on our backstrap here. 2 minutes is up, it releases, flip it over, pour a half a cup of wine. Now ain't that pretty? Not bad for deer camp cooking. Now I've been dying to dive into this. My bread's ready to take out of the oven. Now being in the mountains in the fall gets me in the mood for some of my world famous Pungo Prairie venison stew. And I'm going to show y'all how to make it. And I'm at my deer camp, and all night it's been raining off and on. It's cold, it's damp, it's a little bit blustery. So I think it's going to be a perfect time to get some of this venison stew going. And what we're going to do, we're just going to take this little knife and this little pearl onion, cut that little butt end off of it, and pop that sucker out of there just like a big old zit. A half a cup of sherry and a couple of sprigs of fresh rosemary and thyme. One more little stir around. Seal her down good. Now I'm going to go sit on my deer stand for several hours while this stew is just simmering on my camp slow cooker. Let me go see if I can find me a big old buck. Well, the good news is the sun's come out. But the bad news, the wind's picked up and it's sure gotten chilly. That old venison stew is simmering on that stove sure gonna taste good when I get out of this tree later. Now that, my friends, is a platter full of way more than Dixon's wood duck fixins. Ain't that just beautiful? Now I told you, we're gonna honor the majesty of that gorgeous little bird. I think we did. So don't go nowhere, cause you don't wanna miss this.
Grampy, next time can we make moon pies?
Moon pies? You bet, baby girl.
Thank you, Grampy.
Now who the heck has a tagine anyway?